Systems and Management Bodies Review. Edition where we do cross-party committee. The three co-chairs there where I get the brief today on this special panel. On the right, as you can see, we get Madam Seraphine Wakana, who is the resident coordinator for the United Nations Salon. On the immediate left, we get Dr. Dr. Emmanuel Gaima, we are the co-chair and they represent the government of Salon. As we all know, a few months ago, the government of Salon and the All People's Congress Party, with international partners, they've been signed they've been getting an agreement after a mediated dialogue between the government and the APC. And one of the resolutions then, now that His Excellency in consultation with the APC party, will constitute a cross-party committee on electoral systems and management bodies review with a three-way leadership nominated by the government of Salon, the APC, and development partners. The body will examine the electoral system structures and processes of the 2023 multi-tier electoral cycle. The committee will also be informed by previous elections with a view for highlight and address the contentious issues of elections and results management, including collation, verification, authentication, and publishing of electoral data consistent with international best practice for enhance the credibility of all future elections in Salon, and that we will guarantee the election will be free, fair, and credible. 3A, we say the terms of reference for the development under the joint leadership of the committee within 30 days. We did a today for say this committee don't work, and they don't come for car reports on the work they don't do, and for show the product of that work, for sign these terms of reference. I want to take the opportunity to particularly acknowledge the presence of our international development partners who have been moral guarantors in this process, and for your support of the government and the people of our country. To particularly acknowledge the presence of our international development partners who have been moral guarantors in this process, and for your support to the government and the people of our brother namesake Sherry Loba, who is also here. I also want to acknowledge the chair of the APC as well, His Excellency Ambassador Yansane, members of cabinet who are here, members of the development community who are also here. I acknowledge as well members of respective parties, but I also want to particularly pay tribute to the members of this cross-party committee. I want to acknowledge you all by your names. The APC reps on the committee, I've already mentioned Dr. Kaifala Marah, who is a co-chair. We have Dr. Almami P. Kuruma, who is a member, is here. Madam Bernadette Kago, who is also here, thank you. Mr. David Fona, my brother Boniface Kamara, Mr. Prince Tolly, and somebody I only call Uncle Richard Conte. Thank you all for your service. Also, of course, on the government side, we have my teacher, Dr. Emmanuel Gaima, who is here, the Honorable Justice John Commander, the Honorable Dr. Fatmata Hassan, Honorable Kuyembe, my big brother, Honorable Alpha Sase, the Honorable Umaru Napoleon Kuruma, Madam Aisatu Jabi Kaba as well. These are the members whose work we mean say we dey today. As soon as notice, I switch somewhat between Creole and English. We agree so we do Kringlish in our new language we will discover. The co-chairs for that do top three major things here. Provide one update, share we ask the co-chair them with for provide an update and share them updates with the start with the United Nations representative. We are in the represent development partners on the committee, and then I'll go in the way we so we listen from Dr. Marah and Dr. Gaima. After the statements, then we officially sign for the members of the fourth estate and the people that we have. So, without further ado, Madam Seraphine, Wakana, Resident Coordinator of the United Nations. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Allow me to stand on existing protocol. Good afternoon, all. It's an honor for me to be part of this press conference today, which intends to provide an update on the progress made by the Post-Party Committee on Electoral Systems and Management Body Review, which is one of the provisions of the Agreement for National Unity that was signed on 18 October 2023 between the government and the opposition, All People's Congress, APC. I'm also pleased by the achievement made so far by the committee under the co-leadership of two very capable co-chairs, Dr. Emmanuel Gaima and Dr. Kaifala Marah. The committee started its work at the beginning of January and concluded this first phase with an agreed terms of reference that define its scope of work for the next 5 months. I would like particularly to commend the core leadership and committee members for their capacity to remain engaged amidst divergences and sometimes strong views on each other positions, and to be able to mitigate their differences and close the gaps between the different approaches and positions in a constructive manner. I believe that this is a result that should be praised by all of us, as it is an important step toward the promotion of unity and national cohesion after a very divisive post-electoral period. As stated by His Excellency President Julius Maada Bio in his national address of 24 October 2023, reviewing the electoral system examination of the to strengthening Sierra Leone's democracy. And indeed, the intended examination of the electoral systems, structures, procedures, and processes, once coupled with impactful electoral reforms that reflects international best practices, will help to strengthen institutions and sustain democratic governance in Sierra Leone. It is important to remark that the process of electoral reform is nationally owned, and committee members will carry out the work of the committee. The United Nations and development partners remain committed to supporting the implementation of the agreed TORs of the committee, as well as the entire agreement for national unity. The United Nations is not only represented in the Cross-Party Committee on Electoral Systems and Management Bodies Review, but we are also part of the team of moral guarantors of the entire agreement for national unity. I would like to take this opportunity to call on both the ruling and opposition parties to to support the full implementation of the TORs of the committee, as well as to jointly contribute to diffusing tensions in communities across the country, advocating for national cohesion and unity, and explicitly and consistently countering the divisive ethno-regional discourse and hate speech that has prevailed during the electoral period and beyond. This remains crucial for keeping the spirit of the agreement of national unity alive. I thank you all for your kind attention.
Thank you very much, Madam Wakana, for fumbling us. It's something that the UN commend the committee for the work they don't do, for the leadership they show, the pledge, the continued support to this process, and he also asks that we all work together for bringing the tension down and for promote peace and strengthening with democracy as a whole. We also thank you for your support. I now have the privilege to invite the other co-chair who represents the opposition party, the All People's Congress Party, the very distinguished Dr. Kaifala Marah. The floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Minister. Honorable Minister and your colleagues, in particular, leaders of political parties, in particular, honorable members of Parliament, they are present, other government officials, civil society representatives, Your Excellencies, members of the diplomatic corps, civil society representatives, distinguished guests and members of the media, I join my co-chairs, Dr. Emmanuel Gaima of the Government of Sierra Leone, and the UN Resident Coordinator, Ms. Seraphine Wakana, representing development partners, and my dear colleagues on the Tripartite Committee, to warmly welcome you all to this maiden press briefing of the Cross-Party Committee on Electoral Systems and Management Bodies Review, which we call the Tripartite Committee. Fabulous. As we all are aware, the June 24, 2023 elections may end in a controversy and a standoff between the All People's Congress and government of Sierra Leone. The APC and many people believe say transparency not been there in the electoral process, in particular the Italian process. The deliberate refusal of the ECSL for publish the data, the results, we will help people therefore examine the result, not go down well with the APC, many civil society groups, citizens of this country, and other institutions across the world. Because of this intransigent, because of this decision where the ECSL take not for published results, after where many people, especially the APC, believe say irregularities will take place. Among many considerations, the APC decide not for participate in governance, especially in parliament and councils across the country. I'm sure we all be aware of that. Now this standoff day, as a result of that, we get the international community, we've been so worried and concerned that they step in. Along with the bodies over there, with partners over there, the diplomatic community over there, we get the Commonwealth Secretariat, ECOWAS, the African Union, and the National Peace Commission I have been come for mediate the dialogue between the APC and government. And we all recall that may take place in Pintumani from the 16th to the 18th of October 2023. That dialogue may be ended with an agreement we all refer to as the Agreement for National Unity. That Agreement for National Unity get 8 resolutions. But we all now know that we, the Tripartite Committee, responsible for Resolution 3 alone. Waiting now this Resolution 3, I'm sure we all know, Mr. Minister don't make reference to it. But for me, I reiterate, we mandate here twofold. One, now for review the 2023 elections, where the APC not really been pleased with and continue not for pleased with. And two, for me, we take a look at previous elections. In the process, we get for look at the contentious issues. We get for look the collation of results. It get for good verification. It get for do with how they publish electoral results. Whether how they do things in with electoral management is consistent with international best practice. And if you're not consistent, waiting the committee will recommend so that tomorrow official elections will be free, will be fair, will be credible, will be transparent. We all know, as Mr. Minister said, the cross-party gets 3-way leadership where they are, and will get equal representation at the committee that now government and we 7-7, Mr. Minister don't show them, and we sister where they are, Seraphine, Wakana, in the represent development partners as the co-chair. We start to work, as Madam Seraphine said, on the 19th of December. It meant to not get plenty time again, not to 6 months again. So therefore double effort. But today, we are a transparent body. We believe anything we do get for Canada the public domain. We get for take Sierra Leone along. We get for take partners along. So we're not the only sign the terms of reference today, but they show a little bit how far we don't go and which are waiting contain these terms of reference. But for sure now the work we don't do. Not only we don't develop the terms of reference, and now explain to family where they far and wide for saying the terms of reference now the document where they guide the work of this committee, what we will do and how for do it. In addition to that, we don't develop rules of proceedings, how therefore conduct meetings. We don't also develop a communication framework. We therefore take the people of Sierra Leone along this transparent process. Anything where they happen, therefore be open for everybody for see. We don't hide anything. So we don't develop that. What we don't also develop a delivery framework. This delivery framework, they guide me, the nitty-gritty is how we work, for example, with the experts that will therefore bring on board. This one therefore show timelines how they work. We'll get reset, deadlines will be set for ensure that to work within the time. And we'll also formulate a secretariat structure who will bring on board experts, for example, experts who are responsible for electoral laws or look at laws, experts who are responsible for elections management, and experts who are responsible for institutional reform. Because we think to say some of the institutions that we get for those elections need some changes to make. But how reach out? Family. Government they under, APC they under. Now the tough one. We the country will start at first. Halala can't say all man going away. But we come back. This is in this part. We they come back to the issues. Say no, what you talk yesterday, not right. It's our government only. Dr. Maroti says that APC no myself. Well, what about the people of Sierra Leone? So Sister there, she was playing that role, for see how we manage things. Well, what is out there for Sierra Leone? How will we achieve that? So one make people that know that the work of the tripartite committee is for serve the interest of the country. We will grow above individual issues. But not forgetting that the people that will give you this responsibility will get for serve and purpose and for so we not forget that. So we put the country first. So if I will go one for more, waiting in a distance of reference. You don't talk about until one for more now, waiting in how they call a kotoku. I don't know if I'm right. Yes. So waiting inside is kotoku. Yes. So maybe we explain few to now, not to all. One, and for make this committee examine the 2023 election result. So the committee get for examine the 2023 election result. Then we get for examine previous election results as well. We get for look at the shipment, tallying, and announcement of elections result. We get for look at the procedures for certification and publication of results. We also get for take a look at data migration from the National Civil Registration Authority to how we get for feed into the ECSL arrangement. Complaints made there about, if find people look at all land lessons and correct what they for correct. Then we also therefore take a look at the report and recommendations of elections observer missions. For example, the European Union and the Carter Center. We therefore take a look at all of that for land lessons. So we'll see how the elections go and what we will do for meet up best practice. We also therefore take a look at the electoral laws, like the Public Elections Act of 2022, and all other laws in the country will get for those elections. Question. They're enough? They're manipulatable? Somebody can manipulate them? Gaps and they? What you know we will do about these laws? We get best practice within the region and elsewhere where we learn from? If yes, we'll make further recommendations so that electoral laws will be good and will be excellent and will be in tandem with international best practice. We also therefore take a look at electoral redress mechanisms. You know, there are issues. You file petitions, sometimes take 2-3 years, nothing will happen. We have to look at that. The timing, they announce the president. Few minutes later, the Chief Justice will administer the oath. Then the following morning, you file a petition to the same Chief Justice. And then he only get limited window for bring only evidence for submitting petitions. It meets best practice, lessons they will go learn. We'll take a look at what things happen in other countries. Now then things they will get for do. Then we'll also get for do functional review, take a look at some institutions. ECSL, we'll get for take a look at their staffing profile, the institutional profile, decision-making profile. Things that we will need for do in their institutions, not just ECSL, but the other one there who believes they get one or two things for do with elections. We'll get for review them one day. Family, during the course of the work, maybe we'll get the need for invite people and for make clarifications, whether in the security sector, whether in ECSL or anyone, for make them explain further how things and they ask questions and so that the work of the committee will be wholesome, it will be informed, and recommendations will be good. Then, this committee also gets the mandate that during the course of the examination of all of them here, if we found a person, an institution or a group, say they know they undermine the electoral process of this country, we can make appropriate recommendations to the president. So these are some of the core mandates of this committee. And I want people to know that the findings and recommendations of this particular committee, government and APC don't make commitment that their recommendations, they will be actionable and will be implementable. So the APC and government don't make that commitment. Today we will sign the terms of reference. But what we don't sign the terms of reference, We found the Naya and out there for one for waiting at the next steps. We will try for work with sister the co-chair and with development partners for ensure that we quickly recruit the experts that we need so that we will commence this work. But whilst we do that recruitment, this committee will take the honors for work across the country so that people when they will listen to me today and we need for learn more, will know a lot more about the work. Now, we want to remind ourselves as a committee that we remit a sacred realm and that the expectations of Sierra Leoneans are very high of this committee. We also don't learn that growing concerns in the country about elections, about the value for vote, about the freedom and security for casting vote, and how that vote could be protected when also Sierra Leoneans concerned. That particular job with Ngiwi, when I all agree with me, that's sacred one. So because it's sacred, excuse me, we hope therefore for do we utmost for serve the country, for ensure that recommendations based on the findings. We hope for established facts and for clear doubt around the 2023 elections. We'll therefore identify weaknesses in overall electoral systems with structures and processes and then make recommendations. Therefore, we'll be non-toxic this committee now one. At this press conference, we leaders and where they are or one for know exactly who they are this committee, what is our commitment, we from the APC. Would they say we will do a judicious job? We'll collaborate with the government side and with development partners for ensure that the recommendations are clearly informed by the findings we will get from it. We'll get word for the people of Sierra Leone as well. As a committee, Salon self gets a responsibility for help this process. Now two-way thing. Will they do the job for the country? Then we'll not self get for be part of this process. Now that we will get for continue for regional. But it goes beyond that. Make I just say this. And very important at this juncture for say this. On behalf of the committee for clear this air about elections reform. I don't think any member there on this committee will sleep. See the rundown of game. We know the enormity of the job. We know that it's a sacred one. But one law we know also say that professional job they don't do. Law not preempt the outcomes. Law not preempt the outcomes. We're not allowing people to do findings. Based on them findings, we make recommendations. Let we not forget that government and the APC don't already make a commitment for implement the recommendations we put forward. So they ask everyone for the patient. They want them where they do rumor mongering, where they write or pass or do any kind of thing. With the big una for make una focus on one thing. Listen to what the committee they do. That is why we don't put in place a communication framework for continue for engage the public. We now your mouthpiece, we will talk. So if I will recap on this, I want to say, we no one preempt any outcome. We want to do with job judiciously. We go for do review, do with examinations. Based on we findings, we will then make recommendations. And I want people to know that everything we do not a secret. Everything we do get for day in the open. We didn't take Sierra Leone alone. So make people know say nothing not over for cover. Any findings or recommendations so they get for be factual. Yeah. I want at this juncture, I don't touch on this time there against Miss Moore, Mr. Minister, the round up now. No, within our opposition, we know we mandate in Resolution 3. It not necessarily touch the other resolutions. But I will not say this Friday, and I want to underscore this today, that some of the resolutions that they suffer, we need to make good on them. Like Resolution 4, the release of persons arrested and detained, discontinuation of politically motivated cases, support to resettle internally and externally displaced persons, payment of backlog emoluments to elected MPs, mayors, chairpersons, and councillors, among others. Even with 4 poor councillors now today, they not take their seats. You know what they say? Yeah. By the time the committee they don't invoke, let me to say most of the resolutions they are done, they don't. But if they continue for back, we self can make your recommendations, the vote could be an overloaded one. So we, the APC, to continue for great indulgence of government, with a good will for collaborative we under this part of the National Unity Agreement for make we implement some of the resolutions then, so that the public will continue for get confidence and we all will continue for the on the part of the peace and cohesion what they talk about and pray for always. We are sure that our partners are standing by to continue to provide support. And let me therefore close by commending our development partners and the wider international community for supporting this process with the ultimate aim of saving our democracy. We thank the United Nations for supporting our meetings and providing coordination. The Commonwealth, the African Union, the European Union, ECOWAS, the UK, the Irish Embassy, the German Embassy, and all of them. And we thank the US for providing $1.5 million to support the process through the USAID implementation window. We want to thank our respective principals, in particular for us on the APC side. We want to thank you. We want to put confidence in we for serve on this committee. And we say before God and man, we're not going to let the committee and we're not going to let the APC and the country down. We want to say a big thank you to all other party members and every other person in the country, including civil society and Muna, the Fourth Estate. We want to tell Muna thank you for our commitment, and we ask please, make Muna go for accurate reporting. If we have issues, we ask we. Very soon within we communication framework, we are going to know point person, the person will lead communication for this, so that we are going to interact and put out the right information for the consumption of the public. I want to say thank you to my colleague them. I want to say a big thank you to my brother Gaima, who can go back and forth. But they say no matter what, I consult State House. I say myself I'm agree on this. I go to the party. The following week I don't consult, yes. Mara don't consult, no. Well, we agree. A tough one, the family. Very tough and difficult. We crave now indulgence, make una put una confidence in this committee. We will and shall and deliver what you expect of me. One for tell una thank you. May God bless you. Thank you, Mr. Minister.
Thank you very, very much, Dr. Kaifala Marah, co-chair and representative of the All People's Congress Party. Once in a while in history, people may be required to stand up for the right thing, for the country above self. I think we don't hear statements be reflective of the membership of the committee. That speeds it. We, the people of this country, we talk for all the people there. So I talk for them now. We want to thank you for your leadership. I just want to say that I began the privilege to attend one committee meeting, and I see quickly the spirit we express. Sharp, principal disagreement, but in the spirit of harmony and unity, that we seek for puts the interests of this country above self. His Excellency President Bill called for we all level build bridges and not walls. And we pray that this committee will continue in that spirit. After now, turn to the other co-chair, where they represent the government of Salou, Dr. Emmanuel Gaima. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. I have apologies for the voice because I traveled late, so that's a terrible voice. I want to stand on all the salutation protocols and all the protocols we brother Dr. Kaifala Marah established in terms of salutation or greetings and for the opening. The family and I was over there on the 23rd of June 2023, on the 24th of June 2023, Salou number 5 election after the war. I think as a nation, irrespective of the facts we will review, this national tool will celebrate that we don't do 5 elections after the war. It means as a country, we don't begin to move. Also, the other good news about that election is after 60 plus years of this country, the memories have been well. And the first election landed, we, the people of Australia, we put some money inside, we run out for ourselves. We partner, they help me. We want to help me, they help go to other brothers and sisters who they run an NGO for do some element of voter education, civic education. So it was some courage that perhaps very late, but it happened, not to alter and for the wrong election and for himself. So for yourself and for tell we partners and tanky, where they push we, for now be not only responsible, but now we still begin to take your responsibility into our hands since we see an independent state. Family, we all know say we got that election. The election cycle of 2023, we base on the revised Public Election Act of 2022. That revised Public Elections Act of 2022, now what's the informer? In 2007, 2012, 2018, the European Union filled large number, close to 100 people, and they are looking to take and go a long term, and then a short term. Each time they be done for the election, they will make what they call elections recommendations. So when President Bioka, and with my humble appointment, it always say he embarrassed because in the political dialogue meeting, the European Union say we can't spend money by elections, we're not to take the recommendations seriously. So most of the recommendations of 2007, 2012, 2018, and they inform the Public Elections Act of 2022. So in a way, finally, some form of electoral review will not start. So what we do at this committee, the people that make reference to the other day, we dey deeper now. We dey go deeper and look at what's in the left. But don't also forget to say, in the lawmaking process, we come out to government, we got a very important arm of government, under the legislature, under parliament. When government take bill, on a proposal to the house, it got for go lobby for them to pass out. So tell them what is going on the boots, not to all to go pass, but most of it will pass. So government self will say, it may not have been a very perfect law, because me and I come in the process. So till they don't want to sign it from the recommendation, Parliament in its wisdom, like they normally say, they should say enough for the day. And I think a friend and brother, when I will talk about the lady at some point, they even asked me if my Parliament at home. So whatever happened, we still use that Election Act today, plus the PPRC revised legislation. We also use the phenomenal UE Act we make for the very first time in this country. We insisted on comfortable small students and get meaningful political representation across age in the House. The election results will come out. I speak on behalf of government that the election results we have pronounced a win for His Excellency President Julius Malema. And as per the Constitution, Act No. 6 of 1991, the judiciary carry out one of its separate mandates for the swearing of His Excellency and the assumption of office. That will happen. Immediately after that, the ECSL, and there no brief for speak on behalf of them, the ECSL will publish some results like Gazette, or produce results like Gazette, for ordinary members of parliament, parliamentary members of parliament, councillors, chairmen, and mayors of resort. There was an expectation after that, say all man who win will go either to the council or to parliament. Our brothers and sisters in the World People's Congress issue a statement that they will undertake, quote, non-participation in governance. Having said that, His Excellency the President automatically realizing this can be serious because governance is about inclusivity, it is about participation. But more importantly also, people have voted for people who have been declared winners. They need to take their places in the House. They need to take their places in the Council. So it starts from some rethinking. And that rethinking started in-house first. What do you do? They call members of government at high level. They discuss and realize there may be need for look at the electoral architecture once more again. But Fabula will say, not only Salon, most parts of the world, electoral reform is an ongoing process. You cannot get it at a go all the time, one at a time. So, Fabula will realize, may co-chair Dr. Emmanuel Refrence, His Excellency, the President, in the opening of this life of Parliament, it will make pronouncement at Parliament. It said it will put together a committee for looking at the electoral system in the country. At that time, it will nominate a vice president for chair. But shortly after that, when another state institution, or for comment, if you didn't know they are, the Independent Commission for Peace and National Cohesion, what they call Peace Commission for short, they decide for Stanford Henry Utogora and sister at the APC. And they inform say, Utogora and sister at the APC, they want to discuss critical and burning issues pertaining to governance. Well, on the side of government, we believe say the Peace Commission, a product of the Loma Peace Accord, will be used against Federation should be proud of because the tail before start, but finally we don't get them. They were allowed to go ahead. And so they facilitate what to get the international mediated dialogue. But I believe say if you don't get them the protocol from ECOWAS, the African Union, Conference Secretariat, we several believe that process there, I think I'm going to most of the top. And at this point, again, I want to join the brother for this special recognition to the elder brother, male former boss, the leader of the APC, Dr. Emmanuel Gaima, where he not only did it, but he did it full soul for 3 days, and that impacts the whole say to the agreement. Now, this tripartite agreement, we will call the Agreement for National Unity, we go on the Bible. It tied down the whole say to Resolution 3. And important, you don't clarify that and then forget that one. However, when we discussed, the idea was that the All People's Congress, through Dr. Kaifala Marah, for them nominate to His Excellency the President, people then from the ABC, and the President will use a nomination for constitutes the Tripartite Committee or the three-way committee. But the President, looking at the nomination and believing, saying there is need for more inclusivity and more participation, he decided to approve all the 7 nominees. What they said. So therefore, the people brother say, because they sent 7, instead decided now to nominate 7 on the side of the government. So now so we get a magic number of 7 for the ABC and 7 for the SLPP. And one born now, we are report the progress will not make so far. But I also want to say, the government of Sierra Leone firmly believe in this process, and because after the report recommendation will not be presented to the President, and the people brother say, or look at the implementation and the rolling out, the government will take all the residual functions as part of the effort of government for deepening and strengthening democracy, but also for strengthening democratic and national state institutions. Before they come, I will take leave of them. They tell me, say, this is good, we're going to continue. Let the committee work so hard so that we're not going to make the same mistake all of the time. I put on that one. So, what's in this committee? Co-chairs, I want to permit me to explain. Because in my other life, as presidential governance advisor, a lot of I do media monitoring. I realize, say, Mr. Chairman, I realize, say, some newspaper articles, probably because we don't do this yet, probably because of lack of adequate information, we don't make some statements or assertions. And I just want to say, what are the issues around the committee that the committee is or may not be? First and foremost, this committee is a product of political dialogue and political settlement. Not a statutory committee, not a commission of inquiry, as it were. Because, as you say, there are times of long journey to get the objective of this committee, we will read very well, and now, permission of the chair, Mr. Minister, I really explain, in English, explain it. The fundamental objective of the committee is the enhancement of the credibility of all future elections in Sierra Leone. This is critical so that Sierra Leone will move together with other progressive countries in the international system. So, whatever we do, one key thing for this committee for keep an eye on, in the words of the colleague probably one signpost, is that after we don't lose job, all other elections will Wakana Salon going forward. We will make sure say whatever challenges we don't experience in the previous 5 elections, those challenges will no longer exist. Again, this committee, like what the brother said, it will invite people who can talk to them, which means therefore this committee not to an investigative body, not a review body. Also, I want to allow to be brother say the mandate of this committee, as at the time it was signed on the 18th of October 2023, is 6 months. So which means for now, until otherwise, maybe the principal negotiators, the elder brother, the boss of Kaifala Marah, and the chief minister as principal negotiators come for discuss. I can continually remind the colleagues of the committee, say, we are in creation of 6 months. Whether it will be aborted now or terminated or allowed for growth for now, the principal said, whether they send me, they will care for tell me. And what are the end states? So will terminate. The end state or point of termination will be a report. And that report, it got for their recommendations drawn from all what we don't find out in the various segments, and most of the things that we would refer to in the terms of reference. And that report will be submitted to His Excellency the President. And we will agree, the President, that once it's submitted, it will consult or engage with the APC for now look at the implementation of their committee again for the good of all of us. Co-chair Dr. Emmanuel talked about the other 7 resolutions. The other 7 resolutions, they fall outside the scope. However, I've wondered also in the media that from the government side, we don't receive lots of representation from other political parties, that we are dealing with only one political party and there are 17 registered political parties. The good thing is, in one of the resolutions, I don't know whether resolution 5 or 4, resolution 5, there is also provision for inter-party dialogue between the APC, the SLPP, and other political parties. So if there are political party representatives here, I believe say there's an opportunity in that platform also for them to engage at that level and bring the process. And this is important. Why is it important? Because we are talking about future credible non-contested elections. And these other political parties also will equally participate in those elections. So it's just was logical and ethical that they also become part of that. I want to conclude for saying, His Excellency the President has been approached, and rightfully so, that because this committee now about Sierra Leone, now about the people of Sierra Leone, and about the government of Sierra Leone, the government of Sierra Leone is bound for investor money now. So you don't commit sin. Let the chief minister do the necessary paperwork within government for mandate within the laws for them to put some money into running and the operations of this committee. So that it not only become our partners supporting the committee, but it become a committee supported by the government of Sierra Leone and the partners. Co-chair, I want to emphasize the review and the report and the recommendations from this committee, it will be very timely for the work of government. Because and the big 5 game changers will put inside the Build International Development Plan. We're going to talk about Pillar 4. That Pillar 4 is talk about revamping the public service. And revamp the public service, ECSL and all the other election management bodies will go and review, they belong to the public service. So part of the work is being done on the side and it will fit into that day, and I think say that process itself will feed on that. I want to end on this note, but the President also tell me say that I will inform the committee and all of us and co-chairs and we'll be going out of Seraphine Marah say, as the President of the Republic, he is committed to the process and he will support this process to a logical conclusion. And final bit of it for me is the fact that the President of Marah said, Lord preempts the recommendations, but as we see, consistent with our mandate, we don't get nothing where right that the mandate say, Lord will discuss about when the next election will be held. Until such time when it comes up, and by the laws of this country, the next election, I should post the Minister of Information and Civic Education are due sometime in 2020. Thank you very much, and I want to thank the partners, civil society, colleagues from the APC, the media, and all Australians out there for their patience, for their courage, for their understanding, for allowing government, for working with the APC, for putting this committee together. And I plead again, join the co-chairs, particularly the brother Dr. Kaifala Marah, Lord, I show patience and tolerance and accompany with this process so that we do it for make sure we're better, stronger, credible, and part of the international civilized world. I thought I'd take you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Co-Chair. And thank you for pledging the support of the government of Salone. I can also say that I know, say His Excellency President Julius Malabio, they follow this process very keenly, and he fully committed, the government fully committed. In fact, today's press conference, normally we can do weekly press conference, we set aside and say we give this platform and partner with the committee. Part of that commitment, they say we take this obviously at the highest level. I want to take this opportunity as well for acknowledge, say we get the Deputy Mayor of the city, Idinaya, Your Worship, Mr. Kwekulis, ASQ, the chairperson of the All People's Congress Party. If I tell you the history I gave it, Uncle Mikhail, I don't understand. But I want to say you're welcome. Acknowledge your presence. I want to acknowledge the chairperson of the ruling Sierra Leone People's Party. See he come in very quietly at some point. The very distinguished Honorable Dr. Prince Halim said there. And my colleagues them in cabinet, many of them there, the Honorable Minister Makalon, I see Honorable Minister of Local Government, I see Honorable Minister of Higher Education, Deputy Minister of Higher Education, and other VIPs. Now, we don't reach the high point. I want to invite, then they call themselves IFAM. Now we know the works of this committee are not small because I don't attend the meeting. The Honorable Alpha Sise and the Honorable Dr. Richard Conte, they call themselves Sise Conte FAM. And they will two work really closely together. I want to put your hands together for them to very fine statement. So we can do the official signing. So we'll come on this side. We'll do the official signing. So then we'll lead the process. The three co-chairs and they sign and initial every single document based on what they explain to Winaya. And we see the two results of collaboration and patriotism over what we know say, yes, difficult, contentious issues, but we will as Sierra Leoneans for put aside other interests so we will lift Salone above all else. So now we witness the official signing. Honorable Alpha says, I think we'll get some press people in this, so you will do on the side, so we'll say exactly. Exactly, so you say with the inside the frame. So they give a chance that this will come home. And they sign better on the snow paper. And on the snow page, and sign an initial every single page. So now all are the witness, the people of Salon will watch this. Now the witness, we live on every single major media house that is concerned. I will tell thank you to the media partners. They tell thank you to particularly the community radio stations that will carry live and every single corner of Salon today. And then they see what's going in Ayatsi and the work of this committee. I want to remind the members of the fourth estate or other citizens that we get questions. And as usual, we get an online platform, the QR code on the advert we put out. If you get a question, if you get more than one question, send the question on the online platform. And I will get an IR and I will ask her. If you get questions, we're not going to call all my get question now. But I encourage you, say if you get question, go online, commitment will get to ask 100% of the questions that I ask. Anybody send a question, as long as you don't insult, you don't go completely out of line, we're respectful when they ask that question. So if you do not after the signing, I can open up for questions. But for Una, we don't plan to cancel the press conference, so I can tell you one thing, the rules. Today, we get 3 superstars there and 3 superstars there alone. We are the co-chair there. Nobody really use this platform for later on celebrity. We want to celebrity, they create you. Yeah, you ask question straight up. You ask the question, we'll give you the mic, then we collect, we get the answer, the co-chair then will answer to the questions in a very peaceful manner. So we avoid long preface. We already know the preface, and I made a long speech there. They don't tell me all the background. You point out for seek clarification and ask quick question. So we can't do that on the after we conclude with the signing. I go out for call on the members of the committee for come forward. One quick photo. So that we're there, then we'll lift up the paper they don't sign. We'll take one picture now, then we'll sit down again and take the question. So I'll call on the members of the committee for come. It's me not in the committee, so I come on the picture. The co-chairs them, then we lift up the paper that we don't sign. All right, and I asked the co-chair them. Sorry. I want the co-chairs to be together. Maybe Auntie, you give one next one here. Sorry. Yeah? Alright. Alright, why don't I all smile? Cheese, everybody. And ladies and gentlemen, all of us hands together again one more time for them. Thank you very much. Alright, brilliant. Thank you very much. All my missing take picture, I made an okay. Please take picture. Alright. Alright, so I'll ask you all for remain seated. As he say me homeboy from the great state of New York, His Excellency the Ambassador for Salute to the United States, here, Honorable Sneaky White, Your Excellency. Thank you, it's great to see you. Thank you for acknowledging your very distinguished Excellency as well. And me and New Yorker, so we have to get segments, conversations. Anyway, now we'll open up for questions. As always, I start with the question they would already come online, because I want to encourage you to use the online platform. Number one, when I listen, please, when I really be and I'm not listening, I beg. Thank you. Number one question. Now the mandate for the committee for investigate the election and recommend for Iran. Then floor, or if no, the governments for the sake of the positive, if the government could request a one based on a recommendation. So this question. Me go answer later. The person say on the day of zero tolerance for FGM, within government the plan for doing response to the alleged 3 deaths from FGM reported in January and for prohibits this act inside the law. So this now is slightly separate but very important question, and I will respond to that question on behalf of the government of Salon. But for now, co-chairs, I want to handle this question head on. When I get the mandate for seeking Iran, will there be a Iran? When I recommend Iran? I'll start with you now. So we'll go for the door and you start, and then you start.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister and Chair of Education. I think in the presentation, I make it categorically clear that even by the name, electoral systems review and management bodies. For now review they do, we'll not get a thorough investigation, but we will invite, we will encourage, if you are well in this union and you believe, say, this is something that is good for the country, this is something we're supposed to do for our country good before, I think moral suasion will draw you for a calm and accept the invitation and respond to it. Straightforward, we get the mandate as a constituted committee for request for a rerun. No, to the best of my understanding of the mandate. And the document will be put out, and Honorable Minister will encourage you that you try to put it out so that people can read and understand.
Yeah, thank you so much. During the presentation, I made reference to a few things, and I've been very clear about them. One, I've taken a look at the 2023 elections, And second, for take a look at previous elections and make recommendations. Somebody asked whether the committee get the mandate for investigate. We get a mandate for examine. But for investigate and examine, if you check the dictionary, not the same meaning. So you tie the rope to the goat, you take the goat, you tie to the rope, not the same. Correct? Yeah. We don't do a good work as a committee. We don't agree, say, we'll therefore take a look at election results. No, no preempting. Let the results come and look at. I think we get more than 2 million people will vote. Not so? 2 million people will vote. Then vote. A good number not satisfied on the APC side. The reason why we sit down here forget this review and why they get this meeting this afternoon for informed agreement, and because something happened when not being right. And as my brother said, he said the president will make a commitment for support the recommendations of the committee. Me, a professional, I do my recommendations based on the findings. Let the result then come on look at. Based on the findings, we don't make good recommendations. Whatever that recommendation is there for me, it therefore be based on the findings. So the
Okay. Normally I will ask a follow-up question, but I allow the press to come and then we say we'll get a bite. But there was a question on FGM. The government aware? The government aware of the reported deaths, unfortunate deaths, of 3 females, 3 girls, allegedly related to FGM and the rights of Bondo society. The government is very aware. Of course, the government very concerned and moved by that news day, and President Bill don't show a strong commitment for protect girl, beginning and woman rights in this country. In the last government, cabinet, they approved the draft child rights bill, the revised bill. And one of the provisions in that bill now for particularly prohibits the practice of FGM on females who are below the age of 18. We believe that there will be a big step towards reforming this and preventing that kind of death. I want to make clear, say, the circumstances of these deaths are being investigated by the authorities, and then when they will responsible will face the full force of the law. Broader reform conversations, as I say, we believe they are ongoing, and the minister they work on bringing back, follow past the appropriate laws there, so that we will get the reforms that we will need. All right, now questions. I see hands up. You know the rule. You put your hands up, and I'll pick 5 at a time. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay? Go ahead.
Go ahead, run.
Mina Mohammed Kone, and I work for a Standard Times newspaper. From one as I already don't see disagreement from whether election for Eagle or not for Eagle. But then, with what they assure this country that whatever recommendations will come out of this committee, when I'm implementing, I'm not going to sit down for the international committee, I'm pushing again for that because all the time I do so, the international committee, I'm pushing for that. Which time, and number 2, wait waiting at the challenge for make or not pay backlog to people that will be done, from the opposition. We will not be going to parliament for 3 months. Wait at the challenge, we make or not pay the up tonight. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Then number 1. Number 2.
Yes, I was trying to say, I write for Concord Times. This question will go for Dr. Marah. Now, the work of the committee, now for serve the interest of the country, right? As you say. Now you represent APC. How you go strike a balance between the interest of the country and the party?
Mohammed Kanara, the watch. Yes, sir. Mr. Chair, sir. From an historical perspective, the APC and SNP will always be the same. Too much theories, but nothing fundamental to the interest of the people there. Now, people say, all the things are not there. Why, if at all in the near future, now we use the political party regulation of the commission as a whip because trust is lost to the politicians that this country say, we would agree today, tomorrow is another index. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Kuma, I don't say I like your business, but now I wonder what's not the question we are picking that up. Okay, number 4.
Yeah, Lawrence Williams, editor of Freedom Post. My question is very direct. Does the review process involve subjecting the ECSL election data to examination, yes or no? And lastly, I would love to know whether that document you just signed will be made publicly available.
Thank you very much. Number 5.
Thank you very much, Mohammed Bikuma, Civil Society. My question is, why we don't get into the committee, a civil society, or a media representative? Thank you.
Okay. Okay. All right. And first round of questions. We don't get 5 questions. We can ask the committee now for answer. I will send in question about, well, the first question about, it say he noticed disagreements exist in the, I think, tone of an answer on a very specific question. And he claims, say, we only will do this because they're pushing us to do this. So I'm going to clarify that claim there. He says, whose assurance will give the people of Salon to implement their outcome. And then the question say about backlog payments. I think that's a question for the government, so I'll come back to that. Other person say interest of party versus interest of the country. So how do you balance that? And then Mr. Kamai question about say the trust deficit for the 2 parties as alone. And what I'm saying the direct question, whether the review process involved the subject ECL data to review. And then whether the document will be made available to one who just not sign. Then the civil society say, why make civil society not the committee? So they ask you first, Dr. Marah, for the answer first. Just take a bite through the question, and if we keep a short, we will get more opportunities. And then I give Dr. Gaima as well.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Conan. Because of the standoff, now that make the international community see reason for coming, sir, and that's not a responsibility. But for we, as the APC, nobody knows for pushing. Now we want this thing. That is why we bend backwards on many occasions. Just because we want to make a country go before. We do look forward, for example, for my government to implement the border resolutions and what I don't just mention. As I create them intelligence, I ask them, and I happen this afternoon. My brother say, President Bio say, be committed to this process. Me, I want to see by tomorrow what we the general don't ask law firm teams, so that on the side on the side, we will begin to take a look at what we will do for prisoners then, what we will do for the politically motivated, and many others, so that we clear the way before we come to the recommendations of the Tripartite Committee. Nobody no get for push we get for push ourselves, because we believe this is critical to the democracy of this country, and we believe to say that the right thing for do. Now we say we come up with a framework through which we give ourselves targeted timelines for deliver. We no one push beyond 6 months. We want the outcome now, we want the result now, and we believe that the commitment with APC and government don't make, it will come to fruition. Thank you. Number two, Concord time, somebody asked how I will strike the balance between the party interest and the country interest. When you do the right thing, you never get it wrong. It serves both purposes. That is why I say we commit for do the right thing. And that is what we're gonna do. If we do the right thing, it will meet the needs of the party, it will meet the needs of this country. Just do it right. You won't get it wrong. Thank you. About trust deficit, me, I don't like for talk about trust and deficit of trust in this country. We all know myself on my income in profile. I want in that day. On ECSL data, we don't talk to say we get for examine the 2023 elections. I don't know, like I say, we always get problem with semantics. I stay with the words we define the committee, we examine the results of the 2023 elections. And yes, this is a transparent committee. I want to say whatever work they do get for the public, and I wish say whatever they do will continue for the public, so that everybody will get access to them. We'd already make that commitment. Thank you so much. Mr. Koma, about civil society. You know, we'll get for tell yourself through now. And I say this based on what I say just now about trust. It's very easy for many people they lash at politicians say they're not going to do the right thing. It's very easy. But to get for ask yourself, what about other sectors? Can you do the right thing? No. You know, we very much like the idea of work with civil society. I'm sorry, Mr. Chair, I want to digress a bit. When me, I'm the Minister of Finance, you will ask this question, and several others where they are no say. I mean, they get quarterly meeting with civil society. At a point, even the subject, the implementation of a national budget to scrutiny. Not so? We involve them in the budgetary process. Even while they co-chair the G7 Plus, we continue for work with now. At no point in time we do something that will involve civil society. Or civil society self don't go bad, or to them tell You know, they don't smell a little bit. They don't smell a little bit. I get some civil society organizations in this country using try to get trust and confidence in them. This new brother I get trust and confidence in them. I don't meet with some civil society. I know one name names. I trust in many of them. But if you put all inside the bag, because some civil society organizations been there, we been to do certain things that we're not right. And they serve the interest of the country. It's not. So if you civil society you go outside the scope, you do things wey no right, yeah, this not the place for talker. Una go by una mandate. With the hope, according to with terms of reference, that we therefore open up the process. Civil society therefore be involved. We therefore invite una, we therefore talk to una, we therefore integrate una ideas. If you get results or you get anything we get for do the election, ready to have a therefore can I host for ask you on my office for make it give me whatever you get for inform the process. So value now. But wait till they say let civil society self sit up small. You know, Rankoma say when we say we advise the kinder. If you advise the arata for making left for eat the kinder, advise the kinder let left for smell. Yeah, thank you. So civil society therefore involved. We will walk into now. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Normally, during the press conference with minister and all, I can time them and I can get everyone they come in for let them summarize. But today, a special day. I want this is a part of the process for the whole. Let we speak with mine, and I want to. I attempted for defense civil society since the last space they come up, but I'm going to do that now with this space market. So I ask co-chair for letting self respond to the questions. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, on the issue of assurances for recommendation, all I can say on behalf of government is that His Excellency the President, the fact say it is dismantled in committee way announced at the Honorable House of Parliament. The fact say he removed the Honorable Vice President, who had already announced in the House of Parliament before both national and international media and our international partners able to tell her to step aside and for accept to win her for stay at this process is marked demonstration of commitment to the process. So if that is not something that can give solace, then I want to support me about the issue of the trust deficits in our society. But I want to say the president, and I mentioned that 2 or 3 times in the presentation, the president remains committed to the process. Let's wait for the report. The minister is more authoritative. He will talk to the issue of the MPs and the payments. On the issue of the international community, I want to say categorically no. Unawi gets access to them, and I will tell them, even before the Independent Commission for Peace and National Cohesion came with Peace Commission, His Excellency had already discussed and would have already put an address to Parliament as early as end of June for say it gets a committee for review the architecture. Within the international committee perhaps too, they were invited for can become mediators, and they were also invited as co-chairs, and they were also invited as moral guarantors. With some people in our country, let me talk about. The leadership of the country, my first thing say, maybe something wrong. Something we need to look at the system. We need to make sure say the issues they probably will not address in the new law and the electoral system, and also you observe saying now during the electoral cycle we even decide for honor the constitution for stop for calling agency NEC to ECSN by constitutional instrument. So quite a few things passed quickly in the electoral cycle during that last parliament because there are parliamentarians here. Towards the close of parliament, a lot of things passed. So I can categorically say no, it is an inborn, homegrown presidential initiative, but the partners were called upon to be part of it. They're there. In terms of the PPRC requested seven and from being just a registration commission to a regulation commission. But again, I know some bit of talk. Marah in parable. Sometimes now we go accept to be regulated. There are people who are deviant Even when there is a regulation, they go out. Perhaps sitting here as a governance person, as a political scientist by training, I would rather say, because of you say APC or SMPP, I would rather say perhaps what the political parties need this value is more internal democratization. Perhaps we need to get more internal culture of tolerance, accepting ourselves and going by the rules. Let's practice from within so that we can go outside. I believe say perhaps that more of that we need, but this is not a lecture I can do there. On the issue of whether this committee get power for examining the results, data, we will be guided by the national constitution. We will call ECSL as a committee, but the ECSL therefore be convinced by moral suasion or by court order for CAM because they are protected by constitution and by the Public Elections Act that nobody not use in power over them, not even the president. I want to be clear. This committee will invite ECSL. This committee will encourage ECSL. This committee will cajole ECSL. But because this committee suffers from constitutional limitation, it depends on ECSL probably out of moral suasion or any other consideration for me to serve. Yes, we got the right to invite them. But until they decide on which act we dispose that, we will not access and we have no power of coercion. And the final bit of the CSOs, my brother will talk about. And since my brother said, Lord talk true. Well, President Biyomi put the committee together. He thought of CSOs. Some CSOs were nominated. But we are yet to reach consensus whether they for come or they not for come. But as we currently sit, technically speaking, the committee is short of CSO representation if we really are nominated. So once we reach consensus, we convince them because we don't agree now by the rules of engagement say everything will be done by consensus. Once we arrive at consensus, the CSO will come. But we are not forgotten.
Thank you very much, co-chairs. Will it take the final round of questions? I also want to encourage you to say, one, when Dr. Marah they talk about CSOs, they talk about all sections of society for taking blame. The irony is that some people will clap. You will clap, you self for take blame. You self are part of the problem. The answer they will give now, we get one section will clap for one set of answer, one section will clap for another set of answer. At the end of the day, you don't go pick and choose the answer we want. When Dr. Marah or Dr. Gaima give one set of answer we want, they don't call on and say, we don't listen to the committee. This country now we all get it. And one green country we get. And Salon big pass everybody now. I mean, we all day now today, we try for make let things go forward. Yes. The old boss they used to say the thing about democracy in the first 100 years. What is that mean? Democracy is a slow, long, painful process. This today we witness so now is a sign of progress in our democracy. That we can disagree on the kind of table and sign and agree on things and move forward. And that thing for applaud. We not there because we agree. We all not agree on every single word. We bother say notice disagreements. That's the point. Never go there. Because we get disagreements there. But we get for continue for work through the disagreement and the way to don't see today, like a commitment. So I want to join me for call on the people of this country. No one pick and choose the outcome we want. Let us support them for the outcome when they work together for move this country with democracy going forward. Last set of questions. Let me see the hands. 1, 2, 3. It's the press. I want to give chance to the press, please. Okay? So the press then I will put now. Mr. Chairman, wait, I come back to you. Let's see again. 1, 2, 3. And I don't already point to you. 3. Mr. You want to part of the press. 4. And any other journalists? They are not journalists. That's why they are over there. Journalists they are. We're not journalists? Huh? Okay. Alright, you will be number 5. So you get that. 90 represents also be called La Albert Academy in Backyard. You already had that. Alright, it's cool. I pointed at you so you know your numbers. Go on. And number 1, go on. Yeah.
Okay, my name is Suleiman Chalo. I work for Expertise newspaper and magazine. This question will go to Dr. Marah. You talk say some of the resolutions are suffering, which includes 4 of our councillors now both district. They're not assumed office yet. So far, as a political party, what do we not find out as the problem we are in? We get a costing on them and not take office. Secondly, and you know, see the people in that part of the country, they are underrepresented because government, they can do the work.
Okay, I think the question, I will play it back. No worry, there are no people, I know the question, and you finish the answer, I don't know. Uda, now you number 2 years, go on.
Hello, David, I'm Solomon, Radio.
Please, back I big, do ya?
I just want to get clarity as that if efforts were made to reach out to the other political parties and for the part of this committee if we talk about diversity.
Okay. Other political parties.
Political scientist. Thank you so much. I'm glad you lectured Dr. Gaima there. We taught us about electoral reforms. Now, I want more clarity. We get 1991 Constitution, which is very sacrosanct. Then we get Public Elections Act. All the recommendations we get for two. Now the committee, we get a body already. Then you get to go against them because we get to be guided by the national constitution. So I want for the more gets that inside in terms of clarity. Real versus electoral review. Thank you so much.
So you ask question when you don't ask, you don't answer. Now you ask me. I hear you. You know what?
It's been I work for Liberty Online TV. My question they go to Dr. Kaifala Marah. On also seem for the conflicting information, you and Dr. Gaima, they talk so that they examine the 2023 elections data. And now Dr. Gaima just don't state and clear the procedure for bringing the ECSL for produce this data, but I therefore go through a court order. If need be, since the APC now one of the things that this order they request for say when I want to see the data, if need be, you as the person where they represent the APC in this committee, you can push for that?
And the gentleman will be there and then I may get it.
Naya. Minister.
Oh, wait. That Monday, yes. After that Monday, then we end with that Monday. Yes. Go on. Yes, go on.
My name is Ibrahim Tawa from IBP Law. My question they go to the committee and the US ambassador. We must go around say the $1.5 million when in Guinea for another election.
Excuse me. You see? No, I'll give it back. You see, I can let for be nice. But I don't like when you do that. Because you're a journalist and you can't press conference. I don't like that. You know what you're doing and I don't like that. Next time you do that, I will withdraw you accreditation and can press conference again. Okay? Don't do that again. Thank you. Next, please. Go on.
Good afternoon,
Alright, I know you sit here.
Mr. Minister, this question is direct to you because in previous press conference, you come out plain and make them clear to the people of Sanusi. If you forget or anything, we then for carry on as per the Tripartite committee they look after. So it's me the try for say Dr. Kaifala Marah don't make say if the recommendation call for that, then obviously we expect and come. If the recommendation call for that, then we look towards to that.
So it's even a try for us now is, I want to follow your point. If that now misinformation to the public, or what is that you source, I want to get that clear.
Thank you very much. Okay, now we can get the answer then. Thank you for that question, Dave. Alright, so we get back. Allow listen. This is the beauty of the process. Suleiman Jallo in question for Dr. Marah. Now about the 4 councillors that will not take their seats. He say that they mean say the people that will vote for that councillor they currently underrepresented, and waiting at the constraint mean they not take their seats yet. Somebody asked for other political parties that he just met for the money they represent NGC, just don't left. Even there, people get other political parties in the house as well. He asked that they were taking about address standing about the inclusion of other political parties in the statement. With that question, they cannot again. Somebody decided to ask this question of rerun versus no rerun again, reform versus rerun. You say, the political scientists asked, so I'll give you another chance again. I think the point of this one, I will say, Lord, be honest, Lord, be transparent, Lord, come on, at least with some clarity for the people of Salome. And it's very important that we guide how they come on, because if you set trap for real, we make things, we push the can down the road. And we handle that. So I will give you another chance for answer. And then Khadija say on the question of the legality by which you demand ECSL for give you data. He from the chairman say you will get for go basically force or get a court order. He say if you faced with that situation, they whether you willing to do that. And then my brother from the New Citizen Tolombo newspaper say whether me who's the source of the information and whether I'm misinformed the public. Your question at the left hand, I wanted the door. I didn't see. We don't now for go first. I think Dr. Gaima for go first. Dr. Gaima, you go.
On the issue of the councillors, all I can say at this point, I need to reach out again to the Minister of Local Government. But the information I got the last time was that at the time when they were swearing the orders, some of them were not absent, and then the minister had been busy and then it will require. But I also understand saying, I'm not sure that they acted, that he has the authority to delegate for that to be done by a chief administrator. I just want to talk, say, Mr. Minister, I look for follow up on that one. The last time Dr. Marah discussed but the minister was away, so I'm not going to follow up with her. Dr. Marah mentioned saying some of the resolutions that he suffered. Yes, he mentioned in my presentation, say, this committee has no responsibility with the rest of the other 7 resolutions. But between the two of us, we will not different way how we will do that, to the extent that we don't even suggest say we will talk to our principals. And who are these principals? Dr. Samora Kamara, and then the Chief Minister, they will send there for see if they will get some conversation. But to move that further, from we own side in the office of the President, we side at the support of the President, Vice President, and Chief Minister, we actually go ahead and prepare some metrics for track. All discuss which we brother and sister in our APC, and they were kind enough to accept. So let the tracker when you try to look at those issues. So for example, we don't inaugurate the one on the inter-party dialogue, where to the extent PPRs don't facilitate, then sort of draft TOR. I think they don't decide for work on schedule of meetings. What will not clear it, I stop them and say they need to come to Dr. Samora Kamara and they will send them for see who that will be the convener, whether at PPRs or not, because we had agreed that in the spirit of the agreement, we not for the take quote unquote unilateral decision. So but that's one they move on. Quite a few of them move on. The one on the issue about political prisoners and the one that win politically motivated cases. Yes, I must confess, say, the APC did not submit a list. I know for sure, say, the list should have been submitted to the Office of the Attorney General. This is the point. Because some of those people, they were alleged to have committed some crime. The understanding is, what is the seriousness of such crimes that can be politically waived? There are some crimes, according to the legal experts, I'm a layman in law, there are some crimes where political settlement will resolve, depending on what comes from the other party who is affected. So that's to go through a system of process. But again, yes, I agree, say the list has been submitted, but maybe the action expected is yet to be taken. I agree on that one. The effort to link to other political parties, I mentioned, I said, the other political parties, they don't actually write formally for saying, hey, when I do electoral review and electoral management bodies review, who serve the political party then? The same product will come up from that recommendation. We serve again for affect we, but now we're not left free out. Technically, this is just one political party, because I sit here on behalf of government. You could just say government and APC, the SAB lead, but the chairman of the party is and I know that by this arrangement, I have no obligation with respect for conformity because I'm representing as government. So 16 other political parties are still calling. That is a very valid view, but we hope say through the interparty dialogue between Dr. Kamara and David Sende, so then they will find an avenue how they would. Well, last time they meet now for inaugurate interparty dialogue, they suggest say something them when they view the support we. But since we don't forget public outreach and public engagement, sometimes we reach consensus and for engagement. There is also the question here. Well, thank you very much. Since you say that each of us say I teach you, and I teach you, prove me wrong. I've always said for me that in governance, you stand in the center, you go by the principles, you crucify the sentiments. The constitution in any serious democracy, the constitution is mere sacred and sacrosanct. Mere sacred and sacrosanct. So you don't need to subsume shortcut out for anything. That is my position for me. But the recommendation will be going to His Excellency the President, not to me as governance advisor. And the final point here, particularly what the order for me, brother Dr. Kaifala Marah.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jallo. You know, waiting wrong na go na simple thing and not supposed to happen. ECSL submit the wrong list. Now we APC get to list according to the number, not to say they go, the PR system. The one that will be no say 90s. ECSL say, na this. Boy, I see that. You know, enough I know so. Well, don't they find this from October who signed this agreement till now? They don't do that. That was why we write with the accent in the tracker. This is a simple thing. ECSL, whoever responsible for this, make you take the APC list and administer oath. You know, they're in government, what do they do so? Whether they're in government or they're in opposition, the people that they serve. They go, they don't elect somebody from June 30. This is not February. Una no go, can I go to council make it go doing work? Simple thing. If for lift Arata so difficult, where they are young car now, how are you going to touch? It's a simple thing. So the big prayer, make ECSL clear this down. The list when the secretary don't submit to them. Well, don't they, before the end of the week, we the big out. The list where the secretary general don't submit to them. It's simple as that. Before the end of the week, we the big. Let them take and go administer out. Let cancel them begin work. It's simple as that. And for then agreement to na Google Drive. So government no more go to report, we go to do simultaneous reporting. So we go update to your side, then self-update on your side. It's very easy for me to implement the resolutions there. Self would also say, make we nominate like 2 people for prisoners and politically motivated cases. And the other resolutions then, we get people that will go to meet regularly, we get timelines so that they report. And so they deliver. But no evidence. So that's the problem that also I will set the general right. Make we do this. So they ask that the council of the year, if we will settle on this week, they go fine. Even for commission with moral guarantors, that's also supposed to do by now. The inter-party dialogue is very important, but fundamental issues then we only read about constitutional reform. Not so. If I by now make you know what things inside the protocol, what would the reform like that constitution? What you want for 3? If you see how they smell, I'm not sure who put out. So like we know that do. Now we know what it is for. Now that makes the inter-party dialogue very important. So they make you implement the resolutions there, so that by the time the tripartite committee on the camp, we don't go far. Okay, political parties and complain. You see why we person they make law again for be careful. This PR system, now they begin ask yourself, committee member now begin think. Again, how many political parties? 17. Now 2 no more. Do well. You think that PR system is right? No independent. No, now wait. No independent candidates, no win. So now some of the questions they are therefore begin ask. So you know they say the other political parties, we all are the same. But I just raised this, make we begin see some of the pitfalls of some of the laws that have been done in the past. We will find for people to review them. So it will be accommodating and it will be inclusive in the political representation. So democracy will be wholesome. In that regard, we they say not only outside inter-party dialogue they take place, but when this process starts, we therefore open up. We therefore bring on board people. We will become observers, and we will also play their own role. So make political parties then take out and make them know say themselves are part of the process as they go forward. Rerun. No rerun. At the time that answer to what my sister asked about court order and how sacrosanct the 1991 Constitution. You know, Lord Denning, me not a lawyer than they are. They say not left the law, the bureaucrats their hand. Law is very important for the survival of the state. If I make politicians they handle them sometimes politically. Why would they are? Would they are because something go wrong? Mr. President decided to form that committee for take a look at elections simply because he knows something go wrong, not so. And that thing will go wrong. We won't know. It was they tell we say true now. Don't tell we say true. Don't tell we say true. 2 million people or more. We hold on to that data. I say they release it. If you know somebody put it clear, why for worry? So when they say, and I go over this, I don't want to respond to this again. I want to listen to me clearly. This is on behalf of the team. We are simple questions as we go by voting will mandate say for examining 2023 electoral process. Not so. If we examine that one day, me and una know for say elections result na core part of am and now they now mandate. Modi, bring the team, no examiner, they will make recommendations. Not so, no sweat. What I will refuse for make somebody do, now for make Kaifala Marah and the team, and by the way, I want to know say the team is a very strong team. I therefore choose me what? Because anytime they say men and therefore they're on the same page. We do work professionally. Then say, every step is one step leading to a destination. We don't get the terms of reference. We don't agree, say, we get for examine results. Not just 2023, we get for look at 2018 and others. Not so, that was our fall back. But let the results come up, put and no look at. I'm not going to say, and it's very important, I'm not going to say, okay, make us say this. If you take a look at the Public Elections Act, I know I'm for going into law. I think now sections 52 and 93 clearly states voting for two. That is not a constitutional business in the day. Law go by that law, people answer for law do this thing. You know why they say this? Are they crave on indulgence? Make we done with this thing within the next 4 to 5 months, law done with that. We're in a very bad shape as a country. The economy not do well. This particular thing they continue to cast long shadows over with political future as well as with economic future. Law done with this, make investors then get confidence for CAP. So we know say we get a mandate, and one of the resolutions say recommendations shall be actionable and implementable. So let them put it in the layer. According to international best practice, they get for producer. Now say they happen all over the world today. In fact, today, Access to Information Act, not so, but Access to Information Act, you can still pull out. So plenty laws and they don't know how to be one thing.
I really hate to do this. I'm going to ask you to
1 minute. 1 minute.
Yeah, summarize.
1 minute. So, madam, to you, we get plenty avenues. The law, the PPA Act, Section 52 and 93. We get Access to Information Act. We get plenty things there, including international best practice, including a commitment when ECSL will not make under one of the recommendations of the EU for say them will publish. So I know I make this press conference immediately come a cash shadow over the work of this committee. Right. No, do that. So make we find ways and means. Make we take a look at it here. We'll try to go forward to recommendations and we'll check the electoral feature and fix and find for ourselves. Let it come on there. Me at the date and let them plan. And Lord and them.
I want to thank for the questions and the answers. I want to respond to that board I've been promised to respond to her. I want to say a few things. One, I don't maintain as Minister of Information. Before I talk, I carefully choose my words and I check with both the law and the authorities. And I say now again, categorically, as far as I know, categorically, nothing only in the understanding of the law and the advice that I don't receive, we suggest this committee get the power for doing a own or for mandating a own of an election. That's my understanding. And as Minister of Information, if you ask me that question, that's what I will tell you. That's my position. The reason we're there now because we want to give a chance as a committee for explaining and for talking about in terms of reference. So I assure the possible talk say the commitment is clear. And also we have a political leader with the social media waiting for tweets with the talk plenty. Me know the lie. There are many people who are part of the old school politics of Salon. since we talk through. Every opportunity they get a speaker happy for who likes on social media because they will get like and then get followers. I don't do that. I stick to the facts as I understand the facts. And that's what I say, and you self-knows and I stick to throughout. I also want to encourage that we will not litigate other issues that we know before we are, for example. And then we focus on how we bring this cutting down for waiting to be an excellent event. Before we go, I think we will all 1 minute each. 1 minute, and this time I got timer. And I did ask you to say something in the spirit of waiting I say earlier. This committee, the request we Madam Seraphine asked for do, now for also do things for bring down the tension. In the course of who we talk, this is not a political leaders. We don't say things that we don't add to ease the tension up. You have done that here. And a real responsibility as a leader for continue to manage a complex situation and bring the tension down. So as we close, we ask of now for say things to the people of Sando. We will speak to peace, to national cohesion, and to the future of a democracy. I will start with, Madam, I'm asking you to say 1 minute of final words to reaffirm the principles and the values that we shared earlier, which when you requested and called on them to continue to bring the temperature down and to seek peace and national cohesion. So I just want you final words after everything you've had, and then I'll give them a chance a minute each. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and happy to see it's already done through the press conference, that even that we can feel the tension that everybody was able to handle. So I wanted to thank everybody for participating, and I will again commend the committee for the work well done. But we will keep it on track. But also I wanted to commend choosing transparency. We are going to be transparent throughout the process. And for us as international partners, I wanted again to commit ourselves to support the implementation of the TORs. Having said this, I wanted to express that this is again a nationally owned process. We will be there to support, but we are not replacing the committee. We will bring expertise to support the work of the committee, to keep the international standards and make sure that the changes that you are looking for will bring peace and unity in the ceremony.
Thank you very much. Dr. Marah, your final words, 1 minute.
Yeah, me want to tell every Sierra Leonean, make we calm down and wait, like I don't they say, make the process evolve louder with this. And I talk to the bloggers that we can grab no more than right or say anything, make them stop. You know, if we stop for talk about real wrong and no real wrong, we focus on the work we get. Small, then say take 10 and take 10 kill and at the end of the day, we will arrive at something where we make one before. I'm sure outside of this room, if people understand the message and go by the advice we provide now for say, make we wait and allow the committee for doing work, make we patience, we will take on along, we will try to be transparent, I'm sure they will find. So I want to tell government thank you on behalf of the party, the leadership of the party, for the steps we don't take so far for implement the agreement. The cup, it will either be half full or half empty. Who they take and say half full. They'll continue for encouraging brothers and sisters and on the other side for collaborating to for more forward. And finally, I want to tell Mr. President thank you as co-chair for the commitment we're doing for support the operations of this committee. And I want the leadership know this, make party member then know for say we will serve on this committee and sacrifice we want to sacrifice all along. We don't ask nobody for anything. We do this for God and country. We'll continue in that spirit. So my brother tell Mr. President, thank you for his support. Then make the party self know say, me and my colleague them, now so going to do, and I want to tell my committee members and thank you. If not for our support, I know go there, we know go there this evening. If not for our support and guidance, and all the tough things on I don't work on, we know go there. So thank you. So not to Mara and the team. Make everybody know that. Thank you so very much, my brothers and sisters.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, Dr. Marah. And finally, Dr. Gaima.
So, to be honest, I'm family. I want to we begin talk to me. To send a one salon, to talk as in one salon. We can say salon now we own. We say we not go other place but salon. So we appeal now for we take that level be a slogan now, but let's stop this country. Let we not make with different system, make we destroy the one country we get. I did in a political role, but I'm not a politician like my brother tomorrow. And so politicians, there are several options. We, the non-politicians, but technical people, who do political role, we get fewer options. And we boku. We are the politician, we boku. So I want, let me put the country first, and let me make some move. Let me put the country over and above the political party. In my lifetime, I don't see people that move between 2, 3, 4 political parties inside this country. But you know where we move from salon inside salon, now one salon. So meaning therefore, salon bigger than political parties. We have people when the political party don't want, then they go those side and say they're not interested. But you have to continue to be interested in Sierra Leone. Because you are doing so far, you will suffer. Dr. Marah mentioned the economy. The economy depressed. I never depressed. Tomorrow morning, we walk, we sell the shop. Tomorrow morning, we walk, we sell the common do. Tomorrow, we sell the car. If you don't work money, clean money, find money, they're going to bring like cola. You go find money, you go bring find money, somebody can work what do.
Dog.
So do you allow to do that? We find out what is we mandate in end states to say the end. Now a report with recommendations will be present to His Excellency President. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. On that note, I want to say, yes, round of applause for everybody. To the development partners, I see the US ambassadors, the UK ambassador there, other embassies, they are heads of UN agencies, UNDP rep, political party leadership there, Mr. Jason Fudesuma, announced just now, you know, in the room. I want to say thanks to all. On our presence here alone mean a lot to both this process and this outcome. We can feel the beauty and the challenge of Salon in this room. It's the beauty that Salon is. That's me uncle there on the other side, my brother there and sister there on the other side. Come at this room with all this tension. We feel a tension, but we also feel a contest is safer. We are the two co-chairs and come together. And the promise of a democracy and the promise of a country. That we will find way for make them tension in the fear we follow make this country better. So now that they are all close with. I want to tell plenty thank you to the committee for the privilege we follow partner for come with this press conference. Thanks to the members of the 4th states for work do for the critical needed questions that we continue for us. So the supporters of both the APC and the SLPP, now we all get this country, we tell you plenty thank you for una come and for una to support this process. Next week, Minister of Information and Civic Education will continue with the usual weekly press conference. I want to say again, Assalamu alaikum.